¿Cuáles son las opciones en este momento para los jóvenes que han estado aspirando a estudiar en una universidad en los Estados Unidos cuando el gobierno del presidente Donald Trump acaba de ordenar a los consulados y las embajadas suspender temporalmente las entrevistas para las aplicaciones de nuevas visas para estudiantes? Bienvenidos, soy Glenda Umaña. Es un gusto tenerlos con nosotros en este programa especial y justamente estoy acompañada de una autoridad internacional en la educación. Ella tiene un doctorado en Educación Global, es la doctora Ellen Rose. Ella es la directora ejecutiva de Texas Tech en Costa Rica. Y esta entrevista la vamos a realizar en inglés por su impacto también internacional. Así que pueden también seguirnos aquellos que prefieran por medio de los subtítulos. Bienvenidos a todos y muchas gracias también. Dr. Ellen, I'm going to call you Ellen.
Please
Ellen,
call me Ellen.
yeah, thank you so much for being with us. And this is how are you? How is this news impacting you and all the education sector in different colleges? How is it impacting?
Well, I think it's a moment where we all need to pause because many people are looking at only the downsides. But as someone who is optimistic about global exchange, global education, and just the need to collaborate with colleagues in spaces all over the world, we know that this is something that we will find a solution to. Right now, instead of thinking deeply about what we can do, it's important to think about what we can do within the confines and the space that we have.
Mm-hmm. Where there are many high school students, for example, we're talking in Costa Rica as one of the countries that whose parents and themselves were thinking of applying for a visa to study in a college in the United States. But right now, Texas Tech in Costa Rica is an excellent option. Tell us about what it means for you and what you can offer those students.
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question, Glenda. And right now, again, like I said, we all need to hit the pause button. And so, in a time of uncertainty, it's always nice to gravitate toward things that are certainties. And that is Texas Tech Costa Rica. We have a 4-year degree granting campus that offers a US degree, 100% in English. And so, if you can't go to the States or this isn't the moment that you feel comfortable doing that, we have a regional offering that is really the same as a US education, but closer to home. So we have a 4-year degree program, and you have the opportunity. Once you're a Texas Tech student, you're always a Texas Tech student. So that means you can start in Costa Rica and you can finish in the United States at Texas Tech. So in this moment, if you can't get a visa appointment or if you're not sure, then it's a great opportunity to start with us. We have majors in STEM fields and in business management fields. And so those are really the areas that are growing, in the region more than anything else. And so to study electrical engineering or computer engineering or industrial engineering. Those are the fields that are growing, as well as business management, restaurant, hotel, and institutional management. And so we have that opportunity to offer that degree program locally in Costa Rica, which right now it's a real blessing given the uncertainty.
Mm-hmm. What's going on, Alan, with the students that were supposed, they already started a career in Costa Rica 2 years, and then they were heading to go to United States to Texas Tech main campus to finish studying?
Well, right now we're not certain if what the visa process will be, because things are unfolding so rapidly that we just do not know. However, students have the option right now to finish their degree programs with us if for some reason they're unable to get a visa, or they can't go to the United States or don't feel comfortable. So what I would say is, if they're unable to go right now, again, as we know as adults, things are temporary. And so this is a moment to say, maybe I will stay, maybe I will need to finish my degree in Costa Rica at Texas Tech, Costa Rica, and not necessarily go to the main campus for the moment. That could all change 6 months from now, or a year from now, or maybe even in 90 days by the time they can go. But they do have a great plan to be able to stay and finish the degree with us. So that is an option for them. And we're very happy to be able to offer that opportunity.
Mhm. You're a global education leader, and we would like to know why did Texas Tech choose to expand into Costa Rica? Can you tell us a little more about how did it establish in Costa Rica?
Sure, of course, it would be my pleasure. Texas Tech Costa Rica is actually a public private partnership. There were a group of business people in Costa Rica who wanted to bring high quality US education to the region and to be able to offer that opportunity without people having to leave. Costa Rica or the region. And so they looked for the right partner. And Texas Tech, for them, represented everything they wanted. They wanted a tier one research institution that had high quality programs in business and engineering. And also, the idea of nearshoring was really attractive to both sides because you could be in the same time zone. We have faculty members that go between the two campuses. We have the ability to have our students participate in classes on the Texas Tech campus virtually, and those students also joining our students. And so it really seemed, from, again, the nearshoring perspective, from the growth areas in Costa Rica, and from Texas Tech's commitment to globalization, that this was the right partner. And Costa Rica, why? In the region, Costa Rica is really and has always been the leader in investment and education. And so they thought to themselves, if we are going to choose a destination, let's choose the best in Latin America, and let's lay down our roots in a place that has a commitment to high quality, impactful educational programs. And it was a clear choice. Costa Rica. I don't think that there was much to think about in terms of a regional location for Texas Tech.
How, thank you for that explanation. Tell us a little bit more about the students who already graduated. What are they doing now? What are some stories of success about those students?
Well, and thanks for asking that. We just had our graduation last Saturday, and it's our fourth cohort of students who have graduated. And we have students who are going on to get master's degrees. Many are planning to go to the United States or to Europe to continue their studies. Others are working in companies like Boston Scientific and McKinsey and Visa. And so we have students who have garnered really great positions all over, and largely in multinationals. And then, as I said, many are continuing their education, and also through Texas Tech, they are doing that. We have a program called the 4+1, where you can do your 4 undergraduate years on our campus and then go to the main campus and continue and get your MBA or your master's in engineering. So assuming that they're able to go, many of them will engage in that. If they are not, also many of these programs can be done fully online. Texas Tech has wonderful online offerings. And I also think that it's a moment to think as well as online education as a real solution to times when you're not sure where you can go, and to potential lack of mobility, as a real solution to what you need educationally, because we're getting better and better. I mean, not Texas Tech, I mean as as educational offerings in terms of what we do in the online space. It's really sophisticated now. And so to have an online degree is a real way forward for many people. And that breaks barriers, I think.
Ellen, what do you think as a leader, as an education leader, what do you think about Trump's government decisions regarding colleges and the decision about cutting millions and millions of dollars for investigation in Harvard, and investigating also the students' social media before giving them the visa? What do you think about these times and about these decisions?
I think these are unprecedented times for the United States. But if we all look, and I want to be very realistic, if we look at the past 100 years of history, we've seen turbulent times where other countries have done similar things, and we've seen the axis of control shift in terms of research. There was a time when the United States was receiving refugee professors. That's why we received Albert Einstein from Europe. So I do think that pendulums swing if we want to be students of history, and this is a moment where the pendulum seems to be swinging in the other direction. And research and investigation, they will continue. They won't be stopped. Whether they are happening as much with federal funding, now that's the question. But this is also a moment where private industry must step in, where we have to say, look, if we want medical research to continue, then there are private funds that are going to have to step in and say, we want this to continue. We also will have to collaborate more internationally and work with universities around the globe to make sure that these, things that are so crucial to our progress as humankind continue, regardless of one administration's policies or another. I'm a big believer that this is a time to double down. And as I said earlier, within the confines of what is going on, and also it's rapidly changing every day. It seems like there are new orders being signed, and and the sands are shifting under our feet. But this is a moment where we have to be innovative, and we have to look for how we can manage within our changing realities. And that is what I would say real leadership and education is about right now.
How has been the reaction? Is there any right now of the students, Texas Tech in Costa Rica, with all these changes and announcements by Trump's government?
They are very thankful that there is a campus in Costa Rica for them in which to study. And they realize that they're getting the best of all possible worlds because they're getting a high quality education with cutting edge facilities, and it's a US education, but they feel safe and comfortable in a place where our international students, and right now we have 40% international students. When I say international, non-Costa Rican in our case,
40% of these
40%,
from
yeah,
other countries in Latin America.
All over the world. We have students from South Africa, Russia. We've had students from Romania, France, Italy.
In
So
Costa Rica.
in Costa Rica studying on our campus. And and we're seeing even a shift in our applications going forward for this calendar year, starting for the fall, which is August. We're seeing more than 50% of applicants coming from international locations, and not just Latin America. Of course, we have a lot of Latin Americans, but we really do have students applying from all over the globe. They recognize Costa Rica as a wonderful place to live, work, and study, and they recognize the value of a U.S. education. So
because the program is fully in English, right? As you mentioned before,
it's fully in. It's fully in English, and our faculty members, it's a global set of faculty members who have earned their degrees, their doctorates from institutions around the world and have worked and lived all over. So we have, we have a set of faculty members who are extremely talented and who are used to working in a global space, and are subject matter experts in their fields. And the other thing that we have to support our community is the wonderful group of multinational businesses in Costa Rica who hire our students as interns and workers while they're students, and then eventually hire them upon graduation. And so that is another very important piece of a Texas Tech education, Texas Tech Costa Rica education, the fact that we have relationships with over 180 companies in Costa Rica, both local and multinationals.
According to this, in these circumstances that we are right now, do you still receive applications for the fall, or is it too late?
No, we're still receiving applications for the fall.
There's still time.
We are. The application and all of our admissions processes are actually done in Texas. They admit our students in Costa Rica on the main campus, and applications are still open through July. And so if people are changing their plans, if they're concerned, if they want another option, another opportunity, they should definitely reach out, definitely fill out an application to know that they have an option to continue their studies and make progress if they're not sure right now what the visa situation will hold for them in the United States.
Is the same budget for the students studying in Costa Rica or in Texas with TTU?
No, it's actually less expensive in Costa Rica because unless you're a Texas resident and you can get in-state tuition, which international students are not, then you pay an out-of-state tuition, and we're about 30% less expensive in Costa Rica tuition-wise than what they would pay on the main campus in Texas.
So this is also good news. Is there anything else? Is there anything else, Ellen, that you would like to add?
Yeah, I would say that as a young person right now, everyone tends to think in terms of black and white. I will study in the United States. I won't study in the United States. This is going to negatively impact me forever. And what I would like to say is we have to remember that things are changing and that there are incredible opportunities, and that as a young person, you have to find the opportunities, whatever the circumstances are. And it should be a motivation for you to dig deep and find your entrepreneurial spirit and create your own solution going forward.
Muchísimas gracias. Era la doctora Ellen Rose. Ella es la directora ejecutiva de Texas Tech Costa Rica. Y pues me ha encantado poder conversar con ella y ver opciones, sobre todo para todos estos jóvenes que están deseando ingresar, y sus padres que puedan ingresar a una universidad en Estados Unidos. Y repetimos, pues con esta noticia de la suspensión temporal de lo que son las entrevistas para la obtención de una visa de estudiante, decisión emitida por el gobierno de Donald Trump. Muchísimas gracias por habernos acompañado. Esperamos también sus comentarios y sus inquietudes. Soy Glenda Umar.